The Pistons just keep winning, man. They are now the 1 seed in the East. They're 4-1 on the road after an impressive win against the Sixers last night. Now, yes, no Joel Embiid for the Sixers, but still, the Pistons go out there and find a way to win another game. Do it without Tobias Harris tonight. Jaden Ivey still has not played all season. Hasn't played in quite a while at this point. Hopefully we'll come back and be able to provide this team with some stuff later on this year. I don't think he's expected to be out for more than a few more weeks. So hopefully they have him back by December. And there's always the possibility I think this team could add more assets as well. A guy like Malik Beasley makes sense to me. If he does eventually get cleared and is able to return to the NBA, I think him coming back to the Pistons would make total sense after how great that fit was last year. And they could use his shooting ability as well. At the same time, without Malik Beasley, without Jaden Ivey, they have really played well to start the season and look to be very much the part of a real contender in a, again, weak and inconsistent Eastern Conference. You have teams like the Hawks that are in trouble because of Trey's injury, I think, to a certain extent. Cavs haven't been quite as impressive to start the season as people expected. The Magic certainly haven't been. They've been underwhelming at best. The Bucks and Sixers look good, but they're not amazing. I mean, the honest truth is, there is a wide open hole in the Eastern Conference, and the Pistons have as good of a chance as anybody to fill it. And it all starts with Cade Cunningham. Let's be completely honest. He is having a spectacular year in almost every way to start off the year, just playing elite level basketball. If you look at his game log this year, it's pretty impressive stuff, but he's averaging for the season almost 26 points a game, 10 assists, and more impressively to me, his turnovers per game have gone down as his playmaking has gone up. He went up to 4.4 turnovers per game last year. He's actually brought that number down slightly to start this year, which I think is really encouraging. And honestly, his three-point shooting has actually regressed a little bit. It's small sample size, obviously, this early in the year, but he's only shooting a little bit over 30% from three. The hope is that that positively regresses back to a 35-36% mark like the last couple of years. I do think that will go in the right direction a little bit, and that could boost up his scoring here even a little bit more. But so far, he has just played magnificent basketball. Several amazing games from Cade, and he's doing it without turning the ball over a ridiculous amount. I just think he is playing extremely elite basketball. I think he's a quality two-way player. I really am pleased with the improvements to his finishing ability around the rim, up to 53.5% at the rim this year, was 52% or 51.5% last year. But again, it's positive growth, positive improvement, which is what you're looking for with a guy like Cade Cunningham, still relatively young as he just continues to develop his game, become a more efficient finisher, a better playmaker, turns the ball over a little bit less. The shooting has improved over the last couple of years, and I do think that will likely be more represented in his stats as we progress through the year. But he's playing like an MVP. I mean, he really is. In a league where, yes, that doesn't, there's a lot of guys I feel like that you can include in that category. And he's probably not on a Wemby, Luka, SGA, Jokic, Giannis level. He's not on that level. But the honest truth is he's playing at a borderline MVP level statistically so far. You don't have guys average 26 and 10 all that much. 26, 10, and 5 especially. It's pretty impressive. And if those numbers progress even a little more and he's at 27 and 10 or so and his efficiency goes up a little bit, I mean, I don't think he's winning MVP this year, but I think he's having a all-NBA, second team at least type of season, maybe even first team. He's having a ridiculously good start to the season, and honestly, I kind of wonder if the guys around him could pick him up a little bit more. They're 8-2, but the honest truth is Tobias Harris shooting 28% from three. That could positively regress. Duncan Robinson, I think that signing was a little iffy, to be totally honest, in terms of the idea I think there is to replace some of the Tim Hardaway Jr., Malik Beasley stuff. I'm not 100% sure I really trust him defensively still, but at least he's a highly efficient three-point shooter, which is something this team needs because you have a lot of Asar Thompson, Ron Hall, and Jalen Duren, and those guys are very talented basketball players, but I mean, Ron Holland has actually shot 33% from three this year, and at least Asar is close to 31%. It's positive growth, and you hope for that to continue, but neither of those guys are great shooters. Teams are not going to treat them like great shooters. It's going to hurt your spacing having them on the court, and obviously, Jalen Duren is a non-shooter, but Jalen Duren has been freaking awesome. I think the Pistons really are going to regret not signing him to a rookie extension when they maybe could have gotten a 4 years, $90 million or something like that done before the season. And now he's going to go into restricted free agency. They will likely have to match a more significant deal for him if he continues to play this well. Shooting 65% from the field so far, very efficient around the rim, and also averaging 20 points and 12 rebounds. He is playing like the dominant big that he was drafted to be in the lottery, having easily the best year of his career so far. really doing it on both ends of the court as well. I've been very, very pleased with the play of Jalen Duren. I think Pistons fans are also very pleased with that connection between Cade and Duren because it is really impressive. Isaiah Stewart, I mean, you love the feistiness, the energy coming off the bench. He's the type of guy, you hate him if he doesn't play for you, but if he's on your team, you absolutely love him. And he's also shooting 40% from three this year, which is huge. Karis LeVert still provides some of that scoring punch off the bench, even if it's only 20 minutes a game. A guy who can come in and be another scoring option, which is something this team definitely lacks. And I honestly think once you get Jaden Ivey back into the fold, and fingers crossed somebody else, whether it be a trade deadline addition or Malik Beasley, if you could add a couple more pieces to the mix here, you could really have a well-rounded, super good roster. Marcus Sasser hasn't played this year either. He's another guy who will come back and be able to provide some of that bench guard minutes. They really don't have a real bench point guard right now that's healthy, and I think having Jaden Ivey, Marcus Sasser back in the fold to be able to take on some of that ball handling duty will help take a little bit of pressure off of Cade and help this team to, I think, be a little more sustainable throughout the year, because they are asking a lot of Cade Cunningham right now. He's playing 36 minutes a game. He's taking a lot of shots. He's doing a lot of stuff, and I think he's playing well in that pressure, but I also don't think it'll hurt to take a little bit of that pressure off of him on a night-to-night basis by being able to add some of those ball handlers back, and maybe, again, a Malik Beasley or somebody like that at the deadline. Speaking of the deadline, honestly, this team, assets-wise, not in a bad spot. Not in an insane spot, but they own all of their first-round picks, and they own a couple of extra seconds too. I mean, there's 2 extra seconds in 27, 3 extra seconds in 28, an extra second in 30, an extra second in 31. I mean, they have extra second round picks, and again, at the deadline, sometimes you'll see four second round picks for this role player. This is the type of trade that I think the Pistons should be looking for. I'm not sure they should really, at this point, be looking to mortgage their future and trade 2 or 3 first-round picks. But you could even, if the opportunity arises, they have the cap space to absolutely go out there and be able to make a move. I mean, they're $37 million under the second apron. I'm not saying you should push right up against that this year, but Jaden Ivey is a restricted free agent next season. I have no idea what that's going to do cap-wise, and you do have to factor that in. Are you going to re-sign him? I don't know. Definitely going to want to re-sign Jalen Duren, I would have to think. Tobias Harrison, unrestricted free agent, that takes some money off of the cap for sure next year, whether or not they bring him back. I would think if they bring him back, it probably will be for a slightly cheaper amount, considering he's 33 years old, but who knows if he'll be back next year. This team's got some flexibility, though. They've got decent assets. They've got a lot of cap space, both this year and beyond. They have the ability, if there were a deadline opportunity, to go be aggressive. They have enough assets to where they could attach a first-round pick, a couple of second-round picks, and maybe a young player for a big upgrade. Say some really talented wing were to become available. You could look to do some sort of Tobias Harris and young player X, I don't know, plus a first-round pick for some talented guy. I mean, I could see there being the avenue, and I haven't explored what those trades would look like, but there is an avenue for this team to improve themselves this season as well. They have the assets to do it. They have the cap space to do it. And again, they're already really, really good. If you look at defensive rating, 3rd best defensive rating in basketball. They are really competing on the defensive end of the court. It makes sense when you have the length that they do. Besides Duncan, it's Cade's a solid, really, I think, a plus defender for a guard. Asar and Ron Holland those guys remind me so much of Aman and Tari Eason from the Rockets. It's their own terror twins for the Pistons in a lot of ways. And then you have Jalen Duren playing, again, the best basketball of his career. You know Isaiah Stewart's intense and competitive. This team has some real stuff to it defensively. And then offensively, even with the mediocre shooting and potentially some room for positive improvement for a couple of guys, they're still 16th in offensive rating, right around the middle of the league. Like, at least they're league average offensively. If they can be league average offensively and elite defensively, that is a recipe for really good success. 3-point shooting wise, I honestly thought it'd be worse, but they're 19th in basketball on 3-point shooting. It's not amazing, but it's not atrocious. Field goal percentage, they are above average at 13th. Like, they've been a decently okay efficient offense. It's not spectacular, but I think once you add a couple more pieces back into the fold, that might help the offense even more, give them a little more flexibility in terms of the way that they run their rotations, maybe stagger Ron Holland and Asar Thompson even more. There is some options with this team, but they are so well positioned to be great this year. They have their centerpiece player. They have really solid supporting cast young pieces in Asar and Jalen Duren and guys like that. And I think they are absolutely positioned to be able to truly compete with the top of the Eastern Conference this year. We'll see what happens. I'm not predicting right now that the Pistons are winning the title or anything, but I feel like they have as good of a chance as nearly anybody. I mean, I could see them beating the Pistons, the Bucks, the 76ers, the Magic, the Knicks. I said the Pistons, I think. But all these top tier teams in the Eastern Conference, why couldn't the Pistons beat them in a playoff series? They almost beat the Knicks last year. I mean, I'm pretty convinced this Pistons team is ready to compete at a very high level, and I am excited to see it. That I can tell you with confidence. Either way, that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back on more 2K NBA content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.